Age of Sigmar, the Old World. That's a name a friend of mine came up with, and while I was hesitant to use it, it feels foreboding. I say this as someone that was excited do videos about the models and the lore of the Old World, but there are a few points that gnaw at the back of my head that won't leave me be. Firstly, it's the time GW spent on it. It's been almost 3 years of slow information drips, with the occasional model here and there. As we approached the launch, we learned more about the rules of the game. Granted, Warhammer Fantasy fans are loyal to the core, and many are still hyped about it to this day. But in the age we live of hyper-fast information, and marketing being slow is detrimental of getting in the younger generations. I only hope that this slow drip will not be seen in the game, or else the old world is doomed to fail just as Warhammer Fantasy Battle did before it. Secondly, it's Games Workshop we are talking about. While we can't deny they are sitting on amazing IPs for both fantasy and sci-fi, we also can't deny that the biggest sin the company suffers from is greed. I expect the prices will be enormous, and honestly, who can blame me? We've seen what they ask for on their store. We've seen how they increase prices every year. Of course, they wouldn't be bringing the old world back if they didn't see profit in it. The love of Vermintide and Total War Warhammer clearly shows there is a market for it. A market GW intends to capitalize on. Don't be surprised when Bretonnian Knights will sell for €120 and you'll only get 5 models. It's clear that they want to profit out of whales. But that will only hurt the game and the setting in the long run, as newer players will have to deal with a high entry point. Thirdly, it's the feel of it. When you look at old Warhammer art, there is a clear soul to it. Today's Warhammer is more sanitized in look. This is something that will not reflect well on the old world and will more than likely push the people that want to see Warhammer Fantasy back away. If the setting feel and acts like Age of Sigmar, then it's not Warhammer Fantasy, it's just 3 Age of Sigmars in a trench coat. Somebody will have to explain when did Bretonnians start being progressive, and when they stopped, and why. I have no issue with the women heads on knights, as long as I can put a bucket helmet on all of them and use the women heads for Sisters of Battle or other conversions. But let's look at the Lords of the Lance, the first book for the setting. When asked about the character of the French Arthurian faction, we find this tidbit. In many ways, it's the more things change, the more they stay the same situation. But there are a number of differences the readers will spot very early on in terms of who can be a knight and how some of the characters feel their land could or should be, as opposed to how it actually is. Of course, this could mean the story is about a variety of different things. But to the core of Warhammer Fantasy fans, this is a warning sign that the age of Sigmarification is coming to their beloved setting. Yet we won't know if all my fears will be true or not until at least a year in the life of the old world. For everyone's sake, I hope I am wrong. I mostly am with predictions, so that's your glass half full side.